A brief history of the real Hitler, from what I understand, just kind of shooting from the hip. He started painting early in life. He applied for art school and was rejected, which made him angry. The paintings they showed on this documentary showed mostly buildings, maybe some people in there, but they went to focus. There would have been, like extras on the street kind of thing, if they were in the pictures. He was in World War I. I've heard two conflicting stories about that. One that says he did office work the entire time. And the other one says that he was in the trenches. I don't know which is true. Maybe some of both. Who knows? So, during that time, he developed theories as to why they had lost. And that is what he implemented later on. He went to jail for a political event. Might call it an insurrection. Not too familiar with the details of that. For a few months, I believe. Which is where he wrote Mein Kampf. His autobiography, which I haven't read. But I do not think it should be banned, even though it's obviously controversial. It is a warning to future situations. He said what he wanted to do in that book, and no one believed him, or no one took him seriously. He was likely the first politician to campaign by airplane. I don't believe he won an elected position, but an elected official did appoint him as chancellor, I believe. And in that position, he killed off a lot of his political enemies physically in the Night of the Long Knives. And he wrote legislation which greatly increased his power and set fire to the Reichstag, blamed the communists on it, and jailed his opponents who would have voted against him for that, so that he got the votes that increased the power of the Nazis. Had seats, but not a majority. On top of being in bad shape after World War I, Germany was saddled with reparation payments from the Allies, which were, we regretted that decision. And so they were in very deep economic troubles, which fostered the atmosphere to rile up the young people against those who oppressed them or were perceived to be oppressing them. And then the 29 stock market crash could have been a catalyst for even more of that. Worldwide.